Has it just opened? Hi! Thank you very much for tuning back in. My name is Fonny. In my channel, I talk about my Hoyas and my houseplant. If you are interested in this type of content, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. So then you won't miss out the next time I posted a new video that probably you will find it helpful. In today's video, it is something that is very close to my heart. And that is pretty much the reason why I'm so into Hoyas. It is because Hoya has really, really pretty flowers, almost like fake or candies like. And the specific Hoya that I would like to tell you guys today is Hoya SOIDAOENSIS. There's another day, a person asked me on Instagram which one is my favorite Hoya. I thought about it for probably within a minute, then I answered her, it is SOIDAOENSIS. The main reason is because the flower is super furry and really hairy, but at the same time it has a really pretty color combination between pink and also white. In addition to that, they have really, really small, cute, and also cardboardy-like leaves, which makes it extra cute and special. So in the combination of the foliage and also the flower, I think this is the best Hoya that you can get within the same Hoya, in my opinion. So in today's video, I want to do something a little bit different. I have always looked up for Hoya flowers and Hoya flowering tips on YouTube, and I found it very informative when it comes to how to flower Hoyas. I made a video particularly talking about Hoya flowering tips. You can check that out for that type of content. But in today's video, I want to focus on something I haven't seen yet on YouTube, or maybe it's just that it haven't been on my feed, which I would like to see when I was trying to search for Hoya SOIDAOENSIS flowering, which is the process of the flowering. Not only how long the flowering takes, but also I want to show you how my experience with Hoya SOIDAOENSIS flowering is like, starting off from the formation of the peduncle and the length of the peduncle needs to be formed until the bud started out, how the flower formed, and how long the flower will be opened from the bud. So it could be a relatively longer video, but I think it will be like a documentary of my experience with Hoya SOIDAOENSIS flower. All right, let's start with the first question. That is, how long does it take for Hoya SOIDAOENSIS to flower? I am really happy to tell you my experience because I flower my SOIDAOENSIS from a cutting, which I obtained back in late October, and it took under 5 months to have the flower that I'm showing you now. When I first received it, it is a 5-6 leaf small cutting. It comes with peduncle. It's super nice that I received the peduncle, also with a little bit of flower or buds on the tip, but obviously because it's cut, the flower and the bud didn't make it. However, the peduncle actually stayed for maybe a month, but then it eventually fell off. So the flower peduncle and also the flower that I'm showing you now, it is grown completely from scratch. So it took only under 5 months for me to get the flowers from the SOIDAOENSIS cutting. As you can see, my SOIDAOENSIS is not a very large plant. It just have less than 10-12 leaves even at the moment, but since I received the cutting, 2 additional new peduncle has formed. So to answer that question, it's really fast flowering plant, even from a cutting. And then we move on to formation of peduncle. So it took me around maybe a month. Then I can see there's a stringy peduncle starting to form. And after maybe 2 weeks, I start seeing the peduncles forming some buds. However, the first attempt that it tried, the bud dried up and dropped off after maybe 2 more weeks. So it's not a successful experience the first time. However, I just keep on giving the environment that I'm providing, and it continue pushing out new buds on the same spur. And then after around, I would say maybe 2 months, the second attempt of bud has formed on the same spur. And this time I can see that the bud has grown slowly by day. And for around maybe 2 weeks later, I can already see the pointy bud forming on the same spur. And I put extra care. I do not want to touch it so much so that I don't interrupt the flower bud too much, and then I just accidentally knocked it off. So I try not to touch it as much, but I also want to keep it moist all the time, because when there is a flower bud trying to form, you really want to make sure that constant moisture is remained in the soil substrate. So around, I would say, a month, then I see the bud is grown even larger, and I think after around a month, I can already see that the bud has formed like a flower shape. I would say the size would be around 5 to 6 millimeter for each flower. So even though the leaf is relatively small for Soidaoensis, the flower bud is pretty large comparatively. One flower is like maybe 1/3 of half the size of the leaf itself. So this one is really rewarding, because what could be better with smaller, tiny leaves, but big flower that comes from the very small spur. So when it comes to the process it took from a flower bud all the way to a flowering Hoya SOIDAOENSIS, I think it took around 1.5 months, and then it opened up. So the next part would be the flowering period. Now, today is actually the first day the flower has opened up. I will let you know how long it lasted for. At the time when I edit this video, I believe the flower has been finished, unfortunately. Here is the second last day of the flowering period. You can see that the flower bud is starting to close up, just like at the time when it started to open. And one more day later on, you will see that it is almost fully closed and it started to fall off. In total, the flowering period is 6 days. And then the next question would be the flower scent. It have a very, very subtle flower scent, I would say. It's not similar to what I have experienced, because I have Croniana, Lucinosa, Bortoniae. Those ones have a very specific flower scent, but for Hoya SOIDAOENSIS, it does have a scent, but it's not very strong. It smells floral, but it's not a very strong one. So I'll let you know as well in the comment in this video if it becomes stronger and stronger after it has been open up for a longer period. And then move on to the flower shape. As you can see from the video, the flower shape is so precious because it's very furry on the edge of the flower. And you can see the corona is very delicate. It's the color itself, it's so pretty. And the size of the flower after it has opened, as I mentioned, it's around 5 to 6 millimeter bulk of flower, as you can see. I'm showing you here. And when it comes to the peduncle, you can see that the peduncle is relatively long. It is almost 8 centimeters long. And if we look into the pedicel, it is also a special color combination. It is not a solid green, but instead it is a lime green combined with dotted color that colours like purple or reddish color. It is a very unique combination, I would say, not just on the furry flower, but also on the special pattern. Then we move on to the peduncle nature. The peduncle can bud up over and over again, which means that the spur will grow longer and longer, depending on how many times the bud has been formed on the spur. So it is another great thing about this Hoya. You don't need to worry about not being able to flower the Hoya. As long as you have a peduncle formed with a good condition, bud will slowly form on the spur. So yeah, this is the information that I was really interested to know and search for when I just received this cutting. A side note, the first time I note about this Hoya is from Doug. He showed the flower to be very fussy, and also the leaves are very small. And these are the characteristics that I like the most of a Hoya. Small leaf, pretty flowers, white, pink, any colors to be honest, as long as the flower is like a ball, or even the flower is like patella, it's a single flower. I think Hoya flower is just very dynamic, very pretty in their own way. So that was the first time I saw it, and then I do a little bit of research. I didn't really find a lot of information about how long it takes to flower and different stages of the peduncle. So I think it will be a very nice documentary in this video to show you my journey with Hoya SOIDAOENSIS. If you have any questions related to how to flower SOIDAOENSIS or how I take care of SOIDAOENSIS in general as a Hoya plant, let me know in the comment box down below and I can try and see if I can answer your question. And if you have any other suggestion of pretty Hoya flowers or Hoyas with small leaf that you really like, please also leave the comment down below and we can discuss there. Feel free to like and subscribe to my channel so you won't miss out the next video I post out. Alright, until next time, I hope everyone is having a good day and also stay safe, and I will see you next time. Bye!